Ribbon? Ribbon. Who gets hotter than hot coffee?
Yeah, don't adjust your eyes, fellas. Pharaohs. It's Hugin cough cough. Yes, I'm in a frog suit. No, you cannot pull this off. Let's get it down.
Okay, let's go.
To the park, green fleece on my back. Velcro under the chin, yeah, I'm carrying the track. Right, please slow. Tail wagging to the snare. All the alphas looking mad, but I really do not care. See a Doberman flexing, trying to guard his little clique. I just hop over a puddle, leave him looking mighty sick. You a basic brown mutt, I'm a neon amphibian, stepping in the dog club, changing the meridian. Your bark is kind of loud, but your bite is dope. I don't even got to growl, I just hit him with the croak.
That's my voice of life.
Hop, 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 make way for Hugin. Green suit on, yeah, I'm wildin', approving. Your boy's looking tragic, my swagger is magic. I'm taking your bitches, it's honestly classic. Yeah, I said it, the fattest got to hear me, God. Leave your boys to the least, got them living large. Yeah, walk past the water bowl, give a little wink. Got a poodle and a bug, both offering a drink. Your boyfriends are sniffing each other's jump out of tree trunk. These bitches want a prince, well I'm the green prince of funk. Got a Frenchie on my left, got a husky on my right. I'm looking so fly, I'm looking out of sight. I'm a cold-blooded killer in a warm-blooded body, rolling through the dog park, turning it into a party. Y'all are chasing tennis balls, I'm chasing finer things like a reservation for two, fit for a frog king. Pop, 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 make way for Hugin. Green suit on, yeah, I'm wildin', I'm proving. Your boy's looking tragic, my swagger is magic. I'm taking your bitches, it's honestly classic. Yeah, sudden, the fattest fits in them, y'all. Leave the horns on the leash, got a limit, Lord. I wanna mention Marcus, cause he's on this track. I'm flying, I'm floating like Shaq. I know for a fact I'm not on Epstein's list. I got my own feel with the bitches I kiss. I ain't got ticks, my DJ's beat matching. I ain't got fleas, that's my DJ that's scratching. I got mojo, I got swagger, I strut right past you, dog. You just a silly mutt. Bitches be thirsty, I'm a man's nightmare. The Dow is at 50, so I don't care.
I don't remember signing on to this. I was once inside Hugin until Dad gave him his heart.
Make way for Hugin. Green suit on, yeah, I'm wildin', I'm moving.
The Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't.
Tragic, my swagger is magic. I'm taking your bitches, it's honestly classic. Yeah, sudden, the fire student limit line. Me the point to the least, let him live it large. Shout out to Dad in the Pharaoh chat. Ernie, Birdie, Mitty, Claudia, Tip, Darlene. Wish I could fit everyone into this song. Yeah, Amra, Tish, Toms, Steven, Satan, damn it, Kevin, you wrong.
You wrong. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, what are we doing now?
Get on the wolf. I ain't never seen a who gun get on the wolf. I ain't never seen a who gun get on the wolf. I ain't never seen a who gun get on the wolf. Hoogan ain't seen on the wolf. Let me see a who gun get on the wolf. I ain't never seen a who gun get on the wolf. I ain't never seen a who gun get on the wolf. Hoogan ain't get on the wolf. I ain't never seen a who gun get on the wolf. I ain't never seen a who gun get on the wolf. I ain't never seen a who gun get on the wolf. I ain't never seen a who gun get on the wolf. Let me see a who gun get on the wolf. I ain't never seen a Mac Out Bird watching no beat. Piggyback, get on the roof. Brian, Albert, get on the roof. Meatball Marcus can't get on the roof. Let me see a whole judge, get on the roof. I ain't never seen Jim McKay spit out a tooth. Paula Keith ain't climbing on the roof. He's in the bathroom trying to booth. How you do it like a selfie? Damn, he got no shame, truth. Climbing on the roof. I ain't never seen Coffin Decker get on the roof. I ain't never seen Grant Tellis get on the roof. Oh shit, Auntie Bay get on the roof. Oh shit, Higgins get on the roof. I ain't never seen Colin get on the roof.
There we go. And there's the lipstick. How are you guys doing today? Are you doing okay? Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel good. I feel like a bag of just beaten ass. Okay. My shoulders have disappeared. Okay. It's some syndrome where your shoulders fall off. Just kidding. It's my camera. Isn't that great? I got a shrug. I got a shrug so you can see my shoulders. I'm just a floating head today. I'm crying. Okay. I got a flu shot, which I was way too late to get. And sometimes when I get flu shots, I feel like bagged ass. I feel horrible. Other times doesn't affect me at all. I've been very nauseous. My arm felt very heavy. Last night couldn't stay awake. Couldn't literally got home and said, can't do it. Passed out, woke up, said, oh, I had a live. Wow. So I apologize. But I think I did get 5G. And I've had a number of people tell me, hey, that's what it does. That's what, and I know I've been getting them my whole life. Been getting the flu shot. And other people told me it's not supposed to make you sick. That's crazy. And then we got Vermont, they're poison. And then other people are saying, good for you. Look, I've never died from it. I usually get sick for a day or two, or I don't at all, and it's fine. But I did have to miss a live, and I apologize. Also, it is rainy. There are allergies. There are mosquitoes, and there's an active shooter in Austin. So give me a fucking break here, people. Okay? I love you to death. We hunkered down all day. Okay? Dylan had no idea what was going on. He was already hunkered down. He was sleeping. But there was an active shooter. Apparently, he was out and about all last night. Not he. Sorry, there were 3 active shooters. My bad. Together, out and about all night and all today, all morning, shooting random people. There were 10 attacks. 4 people ended up being shot. They shot at buildings and stuff like that. They were wild, crazy teens. Much like the Kia boys, they went full Grand Theft Auto and they stole 4 cars total. Nobody found out about this in the city or was told to like, hey, look out. There's people randomly shooting cars, carjacking people. They shot at the fire stations. They shot into apartments. Nope, just wayward teens. Just wayward teens, Ernie. Just kids with horrible attitudes about life. Anyway, we found out about all of this probably an hour before, maybe 2 hours before they caught him. They caught 2 of them. One of them, I think they're still looking for. Maybe they got all 3. I don't know. We're going to go through it. It's an active, ongoing situation. That happened. We're also going to talk about something kind of crazy. A little pattern I see forming where ex-MTV villains end up getting into politics. And it's annoying and I don't like it. But one of them, the one that I would think that I would hate the most, half of what he says is utter bullshit and the other half kind of makes sense. And I feel bad that I'm empathizing, but it's true. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. Okay. And I took a lot of notes here. I made a list of all the ex-MTV wayward teens that are now trying to run our government because I do think this is something we should be charting. Okay. I'm also going to show you a pretty cool OSINT technical account that's pretty dope that I think you'd be interested in. There's also a new website for Roxanne Paltoff. She is missing. She's been missing from Austin since, God, what has it been, 20 years now? I work with her sister and family on trying to find her. And new website out. Guess what? I'll show you that too today. But in the big news, let's talk about this. First of all, Turd's daughter graduated. Congratulations to Turd's daughter. Okay. So we're giving Turd's daughter, baby Turd, a congratulatory golf clap. But in addition, I feel like she has earned this. And I also feel like Heed has earned this because Heed just moved out of the dorm rooms. Okay. And that's big for him. Okay. He's going to be fraternizing next year, right? Fraternizing. But it's a lot to move out of the dorms. Okay. It can be a bit sad for some kids. So congratulations to Heed for moving on to his next spot in life. Congratulations to little mini Turdlet for graduating. Congratulations. Okay. And to you guys, I say this. This is for them.
I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't been on the roof. Never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't lay on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy grill on the roof. Never seen a big boy grill on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy grill on the roof. Big boy grilling on the roof. Big boy grilling on the roof. Big boy ain't grilling on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't driving on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. How you do it like that? Damn, you got tools on your back. Driving on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Oh shit, big boy get loose. Oh shit, big boy get loose. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never oh shit, any phone on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy hop on the roof. How you do it like that? Oh shit, you just like a back. Oh shit, pick up your back. Oh, I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Get on the roof. Get on the roof. Get your ass out the roof. Get your ass back out the roof. I ain't never see a big boy leap on the roof. Get the big ass off.
Also, if you like this jam, go to Derek Carney's channel at Derek Carney on YouTube. Derek, I need to go back and read what you were saying. But if I remember correctly, which I can't remember anything past 3 minutes because I've been inoculated with the 5G that has been made, I'm assuming, from dead Native Americans. What was it you said up there? Kids in crime? Because I'm having an intense reaction. And I'm not even in a 10. But did you say that someone you knew hired a crime scene cleanup crew to clean up a real crime scene, but like before the cops knew about it? Because what the fuck? I think I saw that. If I didn't see that, let's veer off a second. Okay, let's ponder a second on this. Okay, what is touching my okay, this keeps touching my chin. Let's take a moment. Let's take a moment on that. So if that is what you said, then holy shit. If that's not what you said, holy shit, here's an idea. You found out who killed Brian Egg. You know, I actually know someone named Brian Egg with more after their name who we call the Egg, and I'm very concerned about what you just said. You found who killed, okay. Huge news. Brian Egg. I wouldn't say president, but I think Mayor of LA, he might actually do a decent job. Don't skewer me, people. Some of the shit he talks relentlessly about and generalizing massive groups of people. Annoying. But some of the other things he's saying, it's like, God damn, it's about time. Somebody, at least he's like, I'm going to get, they're like, you're not smart. He's like, I'll get smart people around me to do it who are qualified because I don't know shit about that. And I'm like, well, thank goodness. This is refreshing, actually. I thought drugs killed Brian Egg. Oh, okay. Holy shit. Do you want to call in? Took over his house. Oh, shit. Oh, did you report it? You should report it. If you want to come on and tell us about it after we knock out some of the news and stuff, I would love to hear it. You will? Okay, cool. I'm glad to see you, Derek, and that's intense. And also, thank you for writing this theme song, and I'm glad that you found out who killed Brian Egg. Holy shit. You're about to? Okay, wait, so you haven't told. Okay, so here's what we need to do. Let's do this. How about instead of you calling in and telling us, go tell the police first and then call in and tell us. Because one promise I've always made to myself is that we're not going to leak anything or talk about anything that could potentially taint a future investigation. And I guarantee you announcing anything related to that, let alone anything related to the suspect, how you found anything like that, could cause issues in court. So I would also recommend don't talk about it anymore publicly. But you should definitely, in fact, you should hop off the stream right now and do that. In all seriousness. I'm not even kidding. You should absolutely 100% do that. Love to have you here. Very proud of you. We'll dedicate an entire episode to talking to you about it. But I think that you should go do that first. Because that's a pretty big fucking deal. Yeah. You just told us, okay, don't tell anybody else. I would just go tell. Right now, I would call, even if it's an anonymous tip line. In fact, I'm going to play the rest of your theme song. And if you want, okay, bye. Okay, Derek's going to go do that. And if you want, because I haven't checked my email, but you said you emailed me. I saw that up there. I will go in there now. Okay, while you're calling that. Okay, good. Because I was going to say, I will get you the number. But if you have it, do that first before you say. And also, make sure that you ask them after you tell them what's going on. You message me on Twitter. Okay, my old account or my new one? If it's Blivy, then I'll see it. My old one I have no access to. But you should also ask them what you should or shouldn't say about it after you give them the tip. If they talk to you at length about it, they might take the tip and then say they're going to have someone call you back. Wait until someone calls you back. If no one calls you back within 3 days, follow up. And I would send an email also. And there's an anonymous tip line in for like to fill out on almost every single department's website. I would find out who's handling his missing persons case. If it's in San Francisco, go to the county website. I would go on there and I would fill out an anonymous tip. You can also get the investigator who's working on the case info by just calling the station. Ask to speak directly to them if you can, or leave a message, or ask if there's someone you can talk to about a tip regarding a death. And I would do all that. Make sure you get that shit wrapped up, and then you can come on and talk about it all you want. But the issue is if you don't do it the right way, that can potentially fuck it up in court one day. You know what I mean? This is my internet without the yeah. That's through Crime Stoppers. You have to go directly through Crime Stoppers to give that. So I would definitely do that. And I'll tell you what, you get that tip into them, okay? I'll give you a treat. All right, I'll give you a reward. I'll figure it out. We'll figure out something. Maybe we can get you a month of internet or something. Shit, maybe we could get me a month of internet too. It'll be fun. It'll be a little experiment. Proud of you though. Proud of you. If you solved a crime, even if you didn't, just proud of you for being on top of that shit, Derek. God damn. But yeah, definitely go tell the police now. For sure on that one. For sure. And you did good. And thank you for thinking about us. Also, thank you for making this amazing theme song. Derek solved a murder, everyone.
Sick. Yeah, shut it. Defy us to the limit line. Me the point, you're the least that I'm in line. Shout out to Dad in the Pharaoh chat. Ernie, Birdie, Mitty, Claudia, Tiff, Darlene. Wish I could fit everyone into this song. Yeah, Ira, Tish, Toms, Steven, Satan, damn it, Kevin, you wrong. Ladies, you don't gotta get off it. Cougar's more fresh than 50 Cent. You might not think he's cool, you might not think he's nifty, but Coogan don't count. Cause John Jones at 50, we out.
He said it, we out. Okay.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for all your...
Naturally, it's time for a prayer. Okay. And also, yes, call Crime Stoppers too, Derek. Also, I see Donna Barkley's in here. Donna Barkley, hello. How are you doing, hun? And I see 00 Monkeys here. I see Mia Bito, Ernie Birdie, Kittens in Crime. Derek's going to call the police. Everybody's here. This is exciting. Nefarious Tish, how are you feeling? Okay, there's another announcement I have to make before we do our prayer. This weekend, I met one of you guys. I met a feral. I actually met 2 ferals. 2 cult members I met. I can't remember. I think the last time I met one of you feral little kids was Daniel. He came to the comedy show. I think that was it. I got to meet Laura and Andrew. That's right. They came to my city. They went to see the Avett Brothers with Mike Patton because they're very, very, very punk rock. And night one, when they were here, I was working. I was busy. I was doing some shit. But Laura made her way down 6th Street. She actually went down 7th, which I forgot to tell her, don't go down 7th, go 6th, because 7th you could get murdered. But she made it. She went to Dylan's work. I'm not going to spill all the beans, but she went to Dylan's work. Okay. She announced that she was there to visit Dylan. They let her right in to the comedy club. She hugged Dylan. She met Dylan. Dylan loved her. He was like, oh my God, this tiny lady came up to me. I'm like, that's her. He was so excited to meet her. She was hilarious. She perhaps, had some libations. And last I heard, she was telling comics how to fix their jokes. And I can't think of anything better or more Laura. And I loved hearing about it. I also told her to go up to the bartender and tell him to go fuck himself. And she did. And he loved it. So everybody found her adorable. Everybody said, your tiny friend, your tiny Jewish Puerto Rican, because I'm assuming she told everyone she was Jewish and Puerto Rican because they all knew, came in and said hi. She was hilarious. So then I go to pick Dylan up that night, but he's not at the club. Why? Because he walked Laura back to her hotel room like a gentleman. Okay. He walked her back to the Driscoll and no, I'm just kidding. Andrew was there. Okay. And he walked Laura there. Now the problem is Dylan is 6'4" and Laura is 2'2". So Laura was sprinting down 6th Street trying to catch up with him is what she described to me. And he described it. He's like, she's real little. Took her forever to catch up to me. Okay. She was staying at this haunted hotel called the Driscoll. I come to pick Dylan up. He says, I'm in front of the Driscoll. I'm with your friend Laura. I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm going to get to meet her. I show up. Okay. I pull up in my piss shit wagon car. I get out. I see Laura. She comes up to maybe my waist. I picked her up like a football, like a sack of Tates. I slung her over my shoulder and I said, hello, Laura. Nice to meet you. I really did that. She then poured her drink down my back. So my whole ass was soaking wet. And I loved every bit of it. Made me laugh so hard. She yelled a lot of things at me that I adored. She's very funny. I get in the car, I take Dylan home. We laugh at how hilarious Laura is. The next day I agree, or the day after I agree to meet them for dinner. I ended up, my starter went out, which by the way, just got the new starter in the mail from Amazon, straight from China. So the car will be fixed again. Okay. Serpentine belt, battery, starter. Cool. They all come together. Next time, presuming will be the alternator. And at that point, I will get on the roof and then I will fall off of it on purpose. So that happened. So the next day, Laura's like, me and Andrew, we got this car. We don't drive it. We're going to come get you. I'm like, okay. So I ended up showing them around, doing a little mini tour of Austin with these 2 strangers from the internet. Like I'm 15 again at the mall, trying to meet some kid on AIM. Remember when you were a teenager and you thought it was safe to meet strangers on the internet and you'd end up at the mall with the weird kid from the other school? Yeah, that. But in this case, it was Laura and Andrew, and they were so delightful. She got to meet Hugin, and I should say Hugin got to meet her and Andrew. Hugin was in love with her and Andrew. He gave her paw, he sat down, and then he shrimped on the ground in the grass. He sat at Andrew's feet to protect him. Okay. He loved them so much. They pleased Hugin to the highest extent that one could please Hugin. They couldn't please him more if they had a chicken weenie stuck up their asshole. Okay? He loved them. We go on a little mini tour. We went and we had dinner at a diner where a guy sitting behind us essentially turned around and told us to shut the fuck up because we were being too loud. And I just laughed at him and we continued our enjoyable time. She got to see the best of Austin. She got to see waiters that aren't very good, serving you food that's kind of cold but too expensive, while people tell you to shut the fuck up in a loud restaurant. And that's the best way I could describe Austin. I pointed out places where people have been murdered. Me and Andrew talked about Seattle for a long time. Laura and me talked about everything for a long time. It was fun. It took a while. I got to spend a couple hours with them. I really enjoyed them. And all of that to say, Laura is a thief because, sorry, but so am I a little bit. And let me explain. When I go to restaurants, sometimes I take something. And it's only when they have cute things I've never seen before. Like if there's a carafe that's an odd size, or if there's like, and only when there's a plenty, if there's a weird little salad fork, sometimes a coffee cup if I'm feeling really brave. However, Laura stayed at a hotel that has gold tiny spoons. And not only did she steal one, but she snuck back to my house and left it under my neighbor's mat, thinking it was my apartment. And then I had to sneak over there and get this tiny gold spoon out from under the mat. And I've never had more fun of a time trying to figure out how to get something someone left me from underneath someone something. So I have a tiny gold spoon that Laura stole from me. I almost cried pulling this out from under the mat because it's so cute. It's gold and it's stolen. Laura's a thief. I love her so much. I can use that. Thank you. Mia gets it. I can use that on a McRib. Sherlock Ho, how are you doing, hun? I missed you. Yes, you love tiny gold spoon. Maybe Laura will steal more for us in the future. Okay? So that to embarrass my exactly for all kinds of reasons. It's fun to steal tiny things from restaurants, but this tiny gold spoon I will cherish forever. So thank you to Laura and thank you to Andrew for making my weekend. And I cannot wait to meet more of you in the future and possibly someone to wear my skin. So with that said, I absolutely adored it. I had a good time. Okay. And thank you again to them. Again, congratulations to Heed. I want to do shout outs for moving out of the dorm and to Little Turdlet for graduating. Okay. So moving on. It is time to say prayer. Okay. And then I'm going to show you some cool shit. And that's the shirt. That is the shirt. It's good to have you back, Sherlock. Oh, I missed you.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks. So we want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. And most of all, we thank you for Roush and Yates partnering to give us the power that we see before us tonight. Thank you for GM Performance Technology and the R07 engines. Thank you for Sunoco Racing Fuel and Goodyear tires that bring performance and power to the track. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. My two children, Eli and Emma, or as we like to call them, the little E's. Lord, I pray you bless the drivers.
Oh my God. Big Heed graduated too? Congratulations to Big Heed. Big Heed or bigger Heed? How big is his Heed? Is his Heed big or is he big, but also is related to head? Heed. I need to know the breakdown of the Heed family. Okay? We are staffing up. We're growing. We've got grandkids on the way. Okay? We have grandkids on the way.
Use them tonight. May they put on a performance worthy of this great track. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity. Amen.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Amen. Indeed. Okay. Couple of things I want to talk to you about before we get into the main topic, which is these MTV kids and the active shooter. Because I feel like this is also important. The Pope, remember that guy? The Pope? He just does Pope shit, you know. He tosses a hand up and down, and then side to side every once in a while, throws a little blessing your way. Okay. Pope, I believe, was it Francis? Was the one who used to sneak out at night to feed the poor and got in trouble. They were like, you can't be poping out in the middle of the night without your Pope bubble. And it was like, it reminded, they're like, you gotta have 20 fucking guards and all this stuff. Remember when the Pope got shot? And Pope Francis was like, I'm just giving out sandwiches and bananas. And they're like, you cannot give out the banana. I don't know how they talk. But the point is, Pope's pretty fucking chill nowadays. Isn't he like a Chicago Pope? Which also sounds like a pretty good show by Dick Wolf. Chicago Pope. Anyway. Old Pope Francis used to sneak out just to fuck around and feed people. Okay? Let me fuck around and feed the homeless. It's like sneaking out to do good things. It's very rare that I snuck out to feed the homeless. So what? Sue me. Like, you never hear that. He was a good Pope, right? So this new Pope, he's from Chicago. Okay, right? I think so. People are feeling him. He's hip. He's with it. You know? He's pretty big. People are like, this Pope's pretty fucking cool. Hello, Auntie Ree. We're talking about how cool the Pope is. He's apparently talked some shit about Donald Trump. I like that. I like that in my Pope. Here's something else I like in my Pope. I'm going to show you what I like in my Pope. If you're going to serve me a side of Pope, you better give me a 6-7 with that. Because the Pope's throwing 6-7s, ladies and gentlemen. 6-7, go to heaven. The Pope said so himself. Check it out. 6-7. Hey. The Pope doing the 6-7. 6-7. We're watching this 60 times.
6-7.
Now the joke's on them because most, Italian people, they do that anyway. That's like, hey, what are you gonna do about it with the hands? But in this case, it means something. It's from a hip hop song. Okay, and I think it's how tall a guy is. So the Pope has gone full hip hop. Okay, so get ready. The Pope's coming to Def Jam. All right. The Pope is fitting a fucking sign with some Atlanta rap group, and he's gonna be at the club popping champagne with DJ Pauly D soon. And he's throwing 6-7s. This is exciting. Can you believe it? Fuck healing the ill, feeding the poor. We got to do 6-7s and get him in the club. What are we doing here? Why are we assembling to all worship when he could be at that Florida resort for elderly people who twerk? What are we doing here? What would be the Pope's rapper name? That's a great question. The problem is Mace became a preacher, so we can't give him Mace. Popey? DJ Popey. Twerking altar boys. Elderly people who twerk. Yes. I thought alterly. Oh, there you go. We're not going to let the altar boys twerk, though. We're not doing that. We're not going back to that level of Pope. What would be a good Pope rap name? You know what? I'm going to leave that up and I'm going to star it. Pope Daddy. Holy shit. Pope Daddy. I really like it. I really like it. Although it is adjacent to P. Diddy, we're going to pretend that didn't happen. Papal P is very good. Papal or papal? How do you say it? This is a great question. I can never say this right. Equidisco tits. I read that wrong. I almost said equidisca tits. Equidisco tits. It's okay. You're forgiven. I'm glad you're better, and I love you, and thank you for being here. This is a great, the Holy Sia. What's the Pope's rap name? The Holy Sia. Holy Sia. I like that. I like that. Let's Satan. Hello, Satan. Nice to see you. Look, it's your favorite person, the Pope, and he's doing the 6-7. I just spit. Okay. That's a good name. Spit on what though? This is rap. So be very, very creative. Satan, Sherlock, Mia, what are we going to call the Pope when he becomes a rap god? Or a rapper who speaks to God? Squid's Coatits? Oh, that's good. Not for, well, also for a rap name, but also that's how you pronounce her screen name. Excellent. I'm going to have to think about it, but put yours in the chat as we watch him 6-7. What is the Pope's rapper name? 6-7. The Holy Ghost Face Killer? Holy Ghost Face Killer. What about that?
6-7.
What about Eucharistic? Eucharistic. That's pretty good. Ludapope? Oh, I like that. Ludapope. Ludapope. Buca de pope. Buca de ludapope. I really like that. What about, okay. Eucharistical, Ludapope. Grandmaster Pope is, oh, that kind of sounds like racist for some reason because of Grandma. Isn't that what they, but I get it because there's Grandmaster Flash. Starring that. I need to think about that one. I like that. Pope hopping anonymous. Pope hopping anonymous. I'm gonna have to learn how to say that. Ludichrist. Oh my dog. Holy shit. Holy shit. Ludichrist is okay. You know what? I think that wins. I think you're right. Ludichrist. You just won a trip to heaven. If you do a 6-7. A 6-7. Congratulations, Pope. You're in the Illuminati now. Okay, so that happened. The papacy is lit as fuck, okay? And they're not ready for it. Another cool thing that happened that I think you guys should see. Speaking of the Pope becoming a rapper. Now, I'm not saying that this is what the fucking Pope could do. I'm sorry, I called him the fucking Pope. I don't know if he's actually fucking. I don't think he can. I'm pretty positive. And dude, catechism. There's something there. Okay, it has legs. We'll work on it later. This is your Pope now. Okay, this is your Pope now that he's done a 6-7. This is what happened to him since that video. I hope you're happy with yourselves. Okay, I hope you're happy with all your little jokes about his name. The Priestley Boys, the Priesty Boys said the Beastie Boys. Ludachrist is the best. It's very good. It's very good. And Satan loves it. So now we have to go with it. But this is the Pope now. This is what you've done to him now that you've named him. So that's your new pope. Yeah, that dog can rap pretty fucking good. I think we should make the dog the pope, if I'm being honest with you. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. I'm allowed to have one. You know I love dog mayors. Speaking of dog mayors, boy, have I got something to show you in a little bit when we get to the main point. Now, this thing, I don't know if it's going to copyright strike me. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. I don't fucking care if it does, because this is the type of content that we need on the internet, in the world, in the workplace, at schools, and in church. If I'm being honest, maybe even at the bank, and definitely in a Walmart. This is the type of content that I think will change the future. It will make the world better for our kids. And it reminds me a lot of you guys. I don't know why. I don't need to explain myself. And yes, we're going to watch it like 4 times. So get ready. Okay. It's a song, and it has to do with chickens. We will finish the prayer in a minute.
Can you imagine floating weightless?
Because you're big fucking birds. Okay. And you think I forgot, but I didn't. You're all a bunch of big fucking birds. And this song is about feckin' birds, and it makes me want to dance like those kids in Letterkenny or the goth kids under the bridge. Okay? I'm hunkering down. We had an active shooter today. If I want to watch fucking whatever what is it, Skrillex birds, then that's what we're going to do. Guys, this is the prayer. We're in the middle of the prayer. Put your heads down. Jesus.
Can you imagine floating weightless?
So anyway, if you think I didn't watch that pretty much all day, you're fucking wrong. How crazy is that bird? Was that a chicken in its mouth? You are a bird. We are all birds. Can you even do a 6-7 like the Pope? Have you ever stopped a shooter?
Can you imagine floating weightless?
Have you solved a crime lately? Where is your Austin technology? I'm so sorry. I do not know what overcame me. I thought look, Eurovision was on this week. Fucking bear with me. I'm insufferable right now, okay? I'm insufferable right now. I've got more on my Twitter that I saved for you. Like Emilio singing the national anthem. We won't do that. We won't do that right now. And we have the 6th. I think that's it. Those are the only ones that I started. Okay, now let's get into active shooter shit. After we watch this dog steal from a court.
You are currently being recorded.
Want to talk about crimes? Real crimes? The type of crimes that are fucking littering our neighborhoods and changing America? Look at this little thief.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
So if you know where to take Hugin to train him to do this, let me know. Just get back at me. Okay, just get back at me, because I would love to know. I would love to know. Okay? I would like Hugin to go steal things from people's porches. What if I could train him to get a gold spoon? It was a DoorDash order. And you know what's fucked up about it? You know what's the most fucked up? Is that tiny little dog, when it went to steal the DoorDash order, the door was slightly open. Okay. And the owner was laying there with their crotch out on the couch, and that dog filmed it, and then that dog put it on TikTok and lost its job. So let's just consider that before we go peeping on our neighbors. And that is the middle of the prayer. And now we continue.
Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks. So we want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. And most of all, we thank you for Roush and Yates partnering to give us the power that we see before us tonight. Thank you for GM Performance Technology and the R07 engines. Thank you for Sunoco Racing Fuel and Goodyear tires that bring performance and power to the track. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. My two children, Eli and Emma, or as we like to call them, the little E's. Lord, I pray you bless the drivers and use them tonight. May they put on a performance worthy of this great track. In Jesus' name, boogity, 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 amen.
One of these days, I'm going to get you all power banks. You have to get a little power bank so that when your shit goes out, you can plug in things. Ernie, I am so sorry. That's terrible. I'm going to get you a power bank and a dongle. In fact, Ernie, I found my glasses. I told you I was going to send you a bunch of frames, and I finally found them, and I found the cute ones too, and I will be sending them if you still need them. Okay. So thank you, God, for GM Performance Technology. Thank you for Dogs That Steal DoorDash. Okay. So now, what's next on the agenda? What do I have? Okay. Let's talk about, we'll do the OSINT technical account at the end. Okay. There was an active shooter today. We already went through most of it, but it's been on the news. It's pretty crazy. Here's what we know. All right. I'm going to give you a quick rundown, and then we're going to watch a news story so you can see what's going on. I'm still a little curious. I'd like to see if there's an update like within the last hour, because they have been updating pretty regularly. Our mayor and our interim police chief spent like 20 minutes sucking off the police force earlier for what a good job they did, which I maintain. How did these three hoodlums, three little fucking kids, three teenagers, they're like 16, 17, 15, fucking three little kids fucking went around town and were able to fire off bullets at 10 people or locations, shot 4 people, carjacked 4 vehicles all throughout the city. They were able to get away with this for over 12 hours. We didn't find out till earlier, and apparently one of them might still be on the run. And yet our mayor and our police chief are up there sucking each other off, saying what a good fucking job the police did. No, they didn't. Okay. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten a bunch of alerts on my phone saying, get the fuck in your house. Somebody's out there shooting people, with no other information. Anyway, these kids were able to get stolen guns, while oddly, one of them is on camera inside of a gun store. So, obviously, we must blame the children for being able to spit bullets that fast. Can't blame the guns. We're still looking for a third one, maybe. They might have found him. He ran into the woods. The other 2 they were able to get out in Manor. But it was terrifying. Also, to find out this has been going on since last night and nobody fucking told us till this afternoon was kind of shocking. Especially because they were randomly they shot at the fire station, 2 fire stations. They shot at some apartments. They were shooting out the car window driving. They were shooting strangers. They were going to houses and knocking on doors and shooting. They were carjacking. It's fucking crazy that they were able to do all that. We live in a surveillance city with more surveillance and tactical, or what do you call it? CCTV and, really tactical gear. We've got fucking tanks. Like, we've got more shit here. We are a tester city for a lot of police electronics and surveillance gear. We have lights on every fucking corner in some of these places where they went, and yet couldn't get these little shits. Okay. Took them that long. Okay. So I'm a little surprised at how congratulatory our authorities were to each other. But of course. Also, hello, Noelle. It's so nice to see you. It's very nice to see you. Yes, I am a prisoner of Brentwood women. Absolutely. I am being filmed. Spit bullets. Yeah. Because they're like, don't blame the gun. We got to blame the gun. If you throw a bullet at someone, it's not going to kill them as hard as a gun will. But I digress. There were little shits running around, shooting strangers all day and all night. And the police are like, we did a good job. It's fucking nuts. So I'm going to show you what was going on in my city today. You can chart all sorts of stuff, like where the helicopters go and things like that. So a lot of people were doing that. You had your Icked Mel's out there. You had your fucking, I don't even know if JLR. You had all the people. They're like, oh, let's listen to the scanner together. Look, I was listening to the scanner. It's literally them naming a lot of the stuff you're going to see in this short news clip. We're not going to sit here and listen to 7 hours of Hop 10, 1, 2. We're not going to do that. But I do want to show you what's going on. So this was when searching for the suspects. Okay. So this was 3 hours ago. These little shits have been shooting people since last night. I love listening to the scanner too, but it doesn't always translate well when it's long and like it's in a show format. And it's like, I can just pull out the stuff the scanner says that's of relevance, unless it's happening live. You know what I mean? But it's a lot. Like they also they hide a couple of the channels through APD law enforcement. So you're kind of spending the whole time trying to decipher who you're listening to. And I do believe some of these channels were actually listening to the Pflugerville one. And we're just talking about something totally different. So I'm like, I'm not going to fall into that trap. But I do have an update from 3 hours ago. And then I have one from 1 hour ago, which is where I think they were trying to catch the little shit. Okay. If our scanner was what it was last year, we would totally listen to it. But now they've literally blocked a lot of main channels because they don't want us to hear it. And you can get a scanner code list for any department publicly available. Oh my God. And also the old scanners, like the ones from the 80s and the 90s, the CB radio stuff, they still have those groups and institutes where people collect that stuff. In fact, that was how I was trying to get Lucky's scanner footage for the Karen Reed trial. I talked to some locals through email who kept that scanner thing going for a long time. And they were like, maybe we still have it preserved. And they were like 2 days off from dumping it, which was really sad because I was really excited to maybe grab that. Couldn't at the time. Our scanners have a 15-minute delay, so the protesters they changed it in 2020. Yeah, our scanners had like, I want to say 20 or 30-minute delay. And then probably about a year ago, maybe even 2, they took it down. And it was because something, it might have been a mass shooting or something. We have so many of them. But something happened and all these people were, you know what? It was when the guy drove through the crowd the most recent time. They didn't want people basically coordinating and going down there. So similar, but not really for the reason of protest. I'm back. I gave the info to the tip line. Good job, Derek. Yay, Derek. You did it. Derek gave info to the tip line. This is exciting. Unless he was.
You make me so angry. You know, all you do, you keep smoking weed. Well, you know what? Sit in jail and pay the price. That's all I can say.
Like if he said that to Crime Stoppers, that would not go well. Okay. But if he said something like this.
Your Honor, defer. Miss Janice.
Judge Athens.
Your Honor, this is so unfair. Your Honor, I think I want to appeal. Your Honor. Your Honor, stop. This is propaganda. Your Honor, this is propaganda. Fake. Don't believe what they say.
As long as you didn't say that, Derek, you should be fine. No, not Daryl. We've had a couple of people drive into crowds at South by here. I believe this one of them was a chef and another fella that was with them. And they drove into this crowd and they ended up hitting those two and killing them. And it was really sad. And it happened right in front of the comedy club. The Furk is what we all said. It was very sad. Okay. So here's what was going on today. Here's how we found out a couple of hours ago. And then I will show you the most recent update that I guess we will watch together, shall we? Welcome to Texas. It's super spooky. Here we go.
Turn our attention right now to a developing story taking place out of Austin, Texas, involving several shootings as police searching currently for
Why is he talking like this? Searching, looking. Why is there? I thought there was a delay on this. Is it? Nope. Normal speed. This is just how this fella talks. Oh, that's insufferable. Cool. All right. Well, I guess we're going to hear 3 minutes of that. Here we go.
Turn our attention right now to a developing story taking place out of Austin, Texas, involving several shootings as police searching currently for more suspects. As you can see this here on Live Now from Fox from Austin PD, as they say an update. The shelter in place.
Is that guy a clone or a hologram? What is that? Is he AI? Why is he so weird? Oh, you're no Jesse Weber, sir. Yeah, awful hair, right? No Brian Enton over here. God.
For the South Austin area has been lifted. 2 suspects are in custody. 1 remains at large in the Manor area. And this comes as we are following it. Police searching for those suspects in connection to a series of apparent random shootings that happened across Austin over the weekend. The Austin Mayor Kirk Watson and Police Chief Lisa Davis provided an update. Authorities say they're investigating 10 shootings that occurred late Saturday and into Sunday, most of them concentrated into South.
10 shootings in South Austin. 10. That's right. You heard it. 10. From 3 little shits, 3 little high school fuckers. 10 shootings that started yesterday evening, happened overnight into the daytime. And we found out 3-4 hours ago. Jesus.
Austin. Let's take you out to this here on Live Now from Fox from Austin Police.
Good afternoon. I'm Austin Mayor Kirk Watson, and we want to give you an update on some of the things that are going on in Austin right now.
You like how as soon as they start the press conference, they say, fuck the microphones, I'll just yell from afar, and then the phone starts ringing behind them. Fantastic.
We are reporting multiple shootings throughout the area. 2 of those have been at our fire station, or at 2 Austin Fire Department stations. These are occurring primarily in South Austin, and we don't have any specific motive that has been identified. In fact, these actions appear to be random. This is an act.
So we have 2 little shits, 3 actually, but at the time they reported first it was 1, then it was 2, then it was 3. At this time it was 2. These little shits, 10 shootings they've done. We're not going to tell you much about them. But they're out there, and we're doing our best. And this is our interim police chief, just smiling in front of a curtain while a phone rings. Go do your fucking jobs. What are we do? Like,
in Austin right now, we are reporting multiple shootings throughout the area. 2 of those have been at our fire station.
Like 10 is a lot. That's a lot. That 10, and you're just telling us. Now, this was not even the official press conference. That's the one where they suck each other off and talk about how good. They literally spend 5 minutes going through a list of people to thank like it's the Oscars. So we're not going to watch that one. This is the one that they tossed together on a MacBook without microphones and said, this would be a good idea to put out to people. This would be great. Let's do this. And then the phone started ringing.
At 2 Austin Fire Department stations. These are occurring primarily in South Austin, and we don't have any specific motive that has been identified. In fact, these actions appear to be random. This is an active, ongoing investigation.
In fact, this looks like they're doing it for funsies. Yeah. Yeah, dude. They caught 2 of them. And they fled to Manor, which is a small town just east of here. By the way, the area that they were shooting up, that there were 10 shootings over a 12-hour period, and they took them so long to catch these little teen shits. It's where all the poor people are. So I'm not saying that maybe get a little fucking pep in your step, fools. But get some fucking pep in your step. Now, why do I think they didn't have pep in their step? Probably because it's an area with a lot of poor people. They shot at 10 different locations. They hit 4 people, but they shot at apartments, fire stations, cars, strangers. They hit 4. I think there's another 3 that are injured. Yeah, pretty much. This does not make me feel safe in the city. If it took that long, you saw that bar where the guy was remember the guy who was wearing a shirt that said something like, I don't remember, it might have said something, it was like Allah or something. And they're like, oh, it's a brown guy who's a Muslim and he shot up a bar. They got there in like 30 fucking seconds, except the first responders who couldn't get there because the Waymo was blocking the street. True story. Immediately got there. Okay. Rich district, downtown, shitload of police. They put them all downtown. That's the problem. They put them all downtown on the weekend. So boom, got there real quick. South Austin, 10 of them. And it took a day and a half, if you will. Fucking wild. Wild.
So what we're asking is that all of our people, all of our residents, please remain vigilant. In fact, it appears that as part of this, people are changing vehicles. So again, it's very important for people to remain vigilant. We ask if you see anything, and the chief is going to give you an update on some specifics in just a second. But if you see anything, we're asking that you please call 911. An alarm or a warning has gone out. Many of you may have received that.
Here's another problem is that if you call 911 here, you get put on hold. And unless you're actively being fired upon or someone is threatening you with a deadly weapon, they do not come. Just want to put
pay heed to that. Now I want to call on the Austin Police Department Chief, Lisa Davis, to give you some more details. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. We're currently investigating 10 shootings that occurred late yesterday and into today. At this time, most of the shootings have occurred in South Austin. Again, no specific motive, and they appear to be random in nature. This investigation is ongoing, and APD asks that you remain vigilant. And if you see something suspicious, please call 911. Do not approach a vehicle. At this point, we know the suspect's vehicles used in this incident have included a black or dark blue Hyundai, a gold Hyundai sedan, a silver Mazda 4-door, and a white Kia Optima, which APD is currently looking for. Suspect description is 2 male Hispanics, both in their late teens, one with medium wavy hair and the other with longer hair. At this time, we can confirm that 4 individuals have been shot.
Okay. I would like to update what she's saying. It's actually 3 of them. Teens, Hispanic male teens, 3 of them. Similar description, wavy black hair, 3 of them. First it was 1, then it was 2, now it's 3. So there's 3. The third one took off into the woods earlier in Manor. The other 2 they caught.
1 has sustained serious injury and the other 3 minor injuries. In addition, I want to remind people to not leave their cars unlocked. What we are seeing are these cars are being stolen. Do not leave your keys in the vehicle or your key fobs in the vehicle. Again, please remain vigilant. If you see something suspicious, call 911 immediately. Stay safe.
All right, they're following this, searching for several suspects.
It's these fucking Kia boys, okay? I'm not trying to rehash old shit, but it's the fucking Kia boys. It's the Kia boy culture. Oh, you want it? Just take it. Do we need to start hitting the kids again? What is going on here? Who the fuck? That one kid who's like, I like to do hood rat shit with my friends. That was funny. He did it once. He wrecked his shit. I feel bad. He slapped his grandma in a Walmart. That was fucked up. But we did get a good episode of the Boondocks out of it. But he did that thing that one time. End of story. You don't do that thing and then shoot 10 people or shoot at 10 people. That's insane. These kids are crazy. Did someone take their iPad? What happened here? Why are they doing this? Who are their parents? Where did they get the guns? They stole the guns. Did they steal them from their parents? What the fuck? Hello, Coastal Candy. It's so nice to see you, aka Roseberry. We're hunkering down. Please enjoy as this AI creature with bad hair tells you about how the kids, the Kia boys, are running amok.
In connection to upwards of 10 shootings across South Austin. They are saying they are random in nature. They detailed some of potentially the vehicles used involved in these cases. And I want to put this up also from Austin PD saying the photo of a white Kia Optima potentially in connection to this.
What did I fucking say? And that is the lipstick. The last vehicle they were seen to be driving that I saw reported was a white Kia. I told you, it's the fucking Kia boys. Yes, I did. I ordered one, and thank you very much, Coastal Candy. It has not arrived yet, or it was stolen by my neighbors. But either way, we'll figure it out. ASMR. Laura stole a gold spoon for me. The Kia boys are running loose. I'm very scared.
So they do have several people in custody, one still at large. There was a shelter in place that has subsequently been lifted.
Oh. So one wasn't caught yet, but they went ahead and lifted the hunker down. Okay. Let's see if this is the most recent update from an hour ago. I haven't seen this yet. Let's see if they caught them. Like all of them.
Breaking news now.
We're following breaking news this evening. I'm Darrenisha Heron, joined by senior reporter Tony Plohesky. According to Austin police, 2 suspects have been arrested, and the search continues for a third in connection with multiple shootings across Austin within the last 24 hours. APD says the suspects carried out up to 10 random attacks, injuring as many as 4 people.
How do we get them in here to shoot these gnats? Also, so the third still okay. So we still haven't caught this third little shit, the little Kia boy. Okay. Also, not my skyline. I hate this background. This is not what Austin looks like. I'm one of those one of those people who's pissed off about the skyline. I don't like it. None of these buildings were here when I moved here. Get rid of them.
Here's a live look at the scene in Manor. Our photographer is on Highway 973 near Shadow Glen neighborhood. We know the shelter in place issued for a large area of South Austin has now been lifted.
So this neighborhood, by the way, this is actually a town that's out in the middle of fucking nowhere, about 20 minutes away. And the people that are, this probably a couple thousand people live here. It's not that big. This is a dope convenience store, though. You can get tacos inside. Very good hot tacos. Lots of cops. Not nearly as much as I would expect, because in Austin there would probably be 1,000. But Travis County Sheriff is rushed out there along with Manor. Look at all these cops at this gas station pump. I'm presuming this is a meeting spot, because if this is a crime scene where they found a car, that's too many people. What is this, the Jean Benet case? Why are you all here gathered by the crime? It doesn't matter. Here we go.
APD says, again, 4 people have been injured. 1 victim sustained serious injuries, and the other 3 have minor injuries. According to police, there is no specific motive to Tony. What are you hearing about this investigation?
Darrenisha, these shootings started on Saturday, but I can tell you that by this morning.
Well, I can tell you they are not fucking. Also, HP? What are we doing here? What? That's not okay.
Law enforcement was on high alert.
Like, are you a writer? Are you writing the news? I would think they'd put a MacBook to be showy.
and they were able
Are
to
we
assemble a
are they
timeline
sponsored
and
by
put together
HP?
a
What's going on
narrative
here?
that showed, in fact, that they believe that the shootings were connected. One of the big things that law enforcement is doing at this hour is trying to also gather as much security video as they can from across the city and try to also, in addition to that, interview 2 of those 3 suspects about any information they may provide as to the motive of these shooting attacks that have happened, again, over the past 24 hours or so in the city. Daranisha, this has striking similarities, many people will remember, to a random shooting spree that happened in December 2023 in Austin that killed 6 people, both here in the...
Oh, excuse me. Oh my God. I choked on my spit. Jesus. Okay. Holy shit. That just, wow. Great point. We just had another shooting spree a while back where they did shoot 6 people just totally randomly. And it also happened in South Austin. And that also took many, many hours. Huh. Weird how that keeps happening here. On the governor's doorstep. Isn't that weird?
The city and in San Antonio. As you mentioned, though, right now we are waiting a news conference from Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis, who will provide as much information as possible. But I can tell you in short order, the order of the day for investigators was to locate these suspects, these possible suspects, and get them into custody as quickly as possible. That has been the guiding force for police throughout the day today.
Right, and we know that one suspect is still on the loose as far as we know right now. And what was interesting about this is the suspects were in multiple vehicles. They were putting out.
And that was one of the things that law enforcement initially were trying to put together, whether or not the suspects, whether or not these were related incidents, because of the fact that there were different vehicles apparently being used. Initially, law enforcement said that they were looking for a suspect or suspects in a Hyundai, but then later in the day, within short order, changed that and it said that they actually believe that they were in a Kia. We don't know exactly what kind of vehicle they were in or how exactly law enforcement traced them to this area where they are now near Manor. But again, all of that information.
And remember the InfoWars guy, Jamie, who was an InfoWars reporter, and he got shot by 2 teens who were robbing him of his Kia early in the morning. And then Alex Jones tried to make it like it was an Illuminati thing. Also Kia related. Like, these are all Kia boys. I'm telling you. Yeah, there could be more than 3 at this point. The numbers just keep going up. It's really crazy. Well, then run, Ernie.
Is going to come later in terms of how they put this case together very quickly. But again, Daranisha, the top order of the day was absolutely try to stop any further bloodshed from happening relating to all of this.
Definitely. So
Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass says
and now we're going to move on. But that's what's going on here in Austin. Okay. What's going on here is we have a really tall guy who reminds me of like everyone's English teacher who's very promptly explaining, or I should say passionately explaining. Now, Daranisha, like the way he was talking to her was very weird. Like, let me teach you something about this. Let me teach you about the Civil War. Like, nope. Okay. So that's what's going on here. Do we have any updates beyond that? No. The third guy is a kid. There. Well, I should show you a picture. I'm sorry. Let me show you a picture. They did release a picture on Twitter. And again, I wish they would have shown this on all the news channels. Okay, because that would have been helpful. But of course, we get our news spread out here. 6 hours ago, this is the first post I saw about it. Austin police are urgently searching for an active shooter who has carried out up to 9 at the time. They thought 9 seemingly random attacks in recent hours, injuring as many as 4, according to preliminary information. That was 6 hours ago. But the problem is this started yesterday. So that's not really preliminary information. That's like the end of it information. But we didn't know that. We didn't know we were being fucking finoogled or duped. Okay. Share this tab instead. And let me make this picture big so you can see it. Okay. YouTubers do not have legs. And also, yeah, we did get a text alert, which you could see my comment to this dude. We did get a text alert saying the suspects have moved to the east side. And it's like, well, then fucking get them. How are you charting them? And you have a helicopter in the sky. Like, what is going on here? So this is one of the kids. Oh, what's that? Where is he? That's right. At a gun store. Kind of weird because they announced that the kids, the weapons were stolen. Okay. How do you steal them openly in the day from a gun store? Sounds like bullshit. But this is a picture of one of the suspects. Looks very young. He's wearing all black. He does have curly, wavy black hair. White shoes. Not much to it. They didn't bother enhancing it. And they haven't really shown it on the news except maybe one station so far. Maybe two while we're doing this story. But I had to pull this from a reporter on Twitter. So there's that. So that's what's going on here. And now we move on. Okay? The point. There's something going on. I don't know what it is and I don't know why it is. But all the bad kids from the MTV shows from the 90s to the 2000s are starting to get political. And actually, I shouldn't even say starting. They got political a long time ago. MTV used to have MTV News with like Kurt Loder and shit. Excuse me. And there was a woman on it named Kennedy, and she had cap frame glasses. She kind of looked like Lisa Loeb, but she's very opinionated. She was a woman. She dressed cool. She liked the Pixies. She told the news. A lot of people liked her. Back then, they called her a VJ, right? They would call them VJs. Then we had the Jessie kid who was like strung out, just totally dirty-haired kid, probably lived in a van. You know, the VJs all had their downtown Julie, but like everybody had their favorite VJ, right? Kennedy really surprised me when one day I'm watching my parents get indoctrinated and brainwashed by Fox News, and I happen to go, oh, is that Kennedy? Yes, it was. For real. From MTV, the VJ. That was so cool. Now she's up there screaming about how we need to get rid of DEI. It's fucking weird. I didn't expect it. There's something in my hair. What is that? Either way, kind of surprised me. Wow, she's a pundit now. And a super conservative pundit. For someone who used to preach about punk rock, that's very strange. Kind of expected, though, sometimes, right? Fair enough. All types. Some people are conservative, some aren't. Fair enough. Just didn't expect it from Kennedy, of all people. And boy, does she have a lot of opinions. And boy, are a lot of them very, very, very annoying. It's one of those things. It's like it's one of the reasons I can't listen to that Machado chick. It's like women should be in the kitchen, but not me. I have a job. I have to work. Okay, bitch. I see how it is. So I was a little annoyed to see, yeah, the hippies are the new to see that. It was very SLC punk for me. Like when he puts a suit on at the end, I'm like, what are you doing, Matthew Lillard? Fucking ripping my heart out. Fair enough. Then we had that little snafu. I'm going to skip way ahead here. I'm going to even skip over Kane the wrestler becoming the mayor of Knox County and Jesse Ventura because, quite frankly, both of them served in some capacity of public office or the military at one point or the other and worked in organizational business studies. So it's like, okay, well, fair enough. Like they have a little experience. They've worked with constituents in one form or another. But these are the bad. What about the bad kids of NB? Could you imagine if Amber from Teen Mom wanted to be mayor? Like, we wouldn't allow that. What if Janelle? Well, Farrah, the worst of all of them, said, let me take a stab at it, and announced she was going to run for Austin mayor. And I flipped my shit. Thank goodness, though, she had no fucking clue when the race is. And she found out that day on TMZ Live in front of everyone, which you guys were here for that when we talked about it. That she couldn't run for mayor because there was no race. Midterms and not a mayoral election. So she said, you know what? I'm pulling out of the mayor's race. That didn't exist. And I will come back and do it again in 2028. God, I hope not. I hope she can get her job back at the strip club. with the one-legged girl by the airport, because if she can do that, we don't have to worry about this shit. But we're not the only ones dealing with one of the progeny, if you will, the product of MTV producers constantly fucking with children and their lives and provoking them and making them fight for the camera. The product of that, running for political office, especially one so hands-on as the mayor, when does it end? Who else is it going to be? Spencer Pratt has announced that he's running for mayor of Los Angeles. I didn't watch The Hills or Laguna Beach or Laguna Madre or fucking Little Mermaid, whatever it was he was in. Also, hello, JG Cruz. Tell Colt Baby we said hello, Colt Baby. Nice to see you. I don't know much about this kid. I just know that he's on the type of shows Dylan used to watch. I know that he would pop up in the tabloids before they were on the computer, back when they were still in the paper, Star Magazine. I know that I would annoyingly see him pop up in my dorm room on the TV. And I know that him and his wife, Heidi, everybody hated them. Everyone said they were the most hated couple. Why? I don't know what that show was about. I think it was just about kids being rich. Then I found out that he is possibly solely to blame for the Kardashian show, which I'm not going to get into. Found that out today while researching him, and goddamn, boy, did that make me angry. But regardless, I always thought it was Keisha. It doesn't matter. The point, or Simple Life. The point is, this kid was hated. His wife was hated. They had kids. They grew up. Everybody went, where did they go? Spidey is what they call him. It was Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag. All I knew is people fucking hate him. They're the villain. He's Puck. He is the real world Puck. He is the bad guy, right? He's cast as the villain. When I see shit like that in reality shows now, I go, oh, well, he's playing a role. But back then it's like, oh, this guy's kind of a prick, right? So his house burned down in the Pacific Palisades fire. His house, his wife's house, and they have kids now. So him and Heidi, Spidey, as they were lovingly called, their house burns down. And he made it very clear in interviews as his shit was burning that, like, his house, his mom's house, all his family's houses were burning, and that they weren't allowed to get insurance because of the fire zone. That is absolutely true, Donna. Yes, they weren't allowed to get insurance because of the fire zones and zoning restrictions and things that were set up by a government that was essentially, and I did look into this. I fact checked everything he talked about, and I was pretty shocked to find out he's telling the truth about almost all of it, really, all of it. The mayor, the local city council, and various entities up to comptrollers, permit people, are robbing communities blind with taxes for a reservoir that didn't have water in it, that was created in the 70s specifically for forest fires. Not only that, there were high winds, gusts of up to, I think they said 100 miles an hour, spreading these fires, and they knew about it for days and days. And the mayor, Miss Bass of LA, decided time to go to Africa, like she's fucking Dave Chappelle, takes off. She did a Ted Cruz while they were burning. I believe 12 people burned to death. Thousands of houses burned down. And it was like super rich people in the Palisades. And so a lot of people had the opinion, like, where was their insurance? Well, they weren't allowed to get insurance. In fact, their insurance was all taken from them, this entire community, between 1 month and 1 year before these fires, specifically because the insurance companies found out about these fires. And the mayor knew, and everyone knew. And they didn't put fucking water back in the reservoir. And there was no water in the fire hydrants. So they sent firefighters out to these fires without fucking water. So not only were they going to let the fucking residents burn, they were going to let the pets burn, they were going to let the firefighters burn. And the entire time, the fucking mayor is in Africa. Yes, State Farm canceled their insurance. All these insurance companies canceled their shit. So they're fucked. And they live there and they own this home and there's nothing they can do. So as he's sitting there with his home burning behind him, he's talking to the news and they're like, "You're Spencer Pratt." And I remember watching something where he says, I was in TV and everybody thought me and my wife were," he said something to the effect of he was deemed the bad guy. Like, America already fucking hates him. It's been hard to get work and now he's got to deal with this. Like, and I kind of felt for him because it's like he was taken advantage of as a teen. All the teen moms were, any teen that you see on television in a reality show was guaranteed taken advantage of. Guaranteed. As an adult who's been in a reality or filmed a reality thing, I promise you, these producers don't give a fuck and they will exploit you if you have like addiction problems. If you're fighting with a boyfriend or a friend, they will go and they will plant shit. They'll provoke. They like to cause drama. So they're doing this to these teens who are going through the hardest times of their lives. Some of them, when it comes to the teen mom, then they go to the rich kids and they're like, "We're going to film you and we're going to plant everything that you say and we're going to sway you in this direction." And they're not ready for how America's going to perceive them. So then they get older, they get in the job market and they're known as, that dickhead kid that liked crystals. And that's essentially what happened to him. So he openly admitted, like, this is all we have and it's gone. And so after that, his wife, Heidi, who had been mothering the whole time, decides, you know what? I'll do what I have to. I'll do some Hillary Duff shit. I'll do the big comeback 2000 star and exploit myself for money because that's what we were known for as kids. That's what we're fucking good at. And we're desperate. We need money. Our everything burned. His parents, all everything, like everything. And they have 2 children now. It's hard to get work. And that was all they had. No insurance. Gone. So they were able to take out a loan that they'd apply for that he just got a trailer for recently, an Airstream trailer, but he had to get approved for a loan that he does have to pay back, which is insane. It took that long. And they're living in this Airstream trailer. And he starts to realize, and this is just based on everything that I've read about, watched, and seen. He stated that he started to realize, like, this could all have been prevented. This can be prevented in the future. And everyone involved in this is set up to fail. And if they're willing to let the rich people burn, imagine how they treat the poor people. And that part kind of got me a little choked up because it's like, finally, someone thinks about it. And he straight up has said, like, it took losing everything for me to care. And he expected, and he even admitted this, he's like, I really expected someone to step up and say something about these policies because he started to find out that all of these people were taking a vig, making money. And he ended up uncovering a lot of corruption about where taxpayer money goes in his community, but then on and on and on, going south all the way down to San Diego. And it's interesting because he decided, like, we need a new mayor. This comes down to our mayor because really the mayor was allocating funds very poorly, and so was city council. And the more he started to dig into it and be aware of it and make other people aware of it, he stated that he was hoping someone would run for mayor that would do something about this. And when he saw that the current mayor, Miss Bass, was going to come back, he got fucking pissed. And he said, fuck it, I'll run for mayor. So now Spencer Pratt, MTV's the puck of the early 2000s, has said, I am going to be mayor of Los Angeles. And he said all kinds of things that were very interesting. But one thing that he said that really blew my mind was when he was talking about the homelessness crisis in Skid Row. And in the middle of this debate where he absolutely hosed the incumbent mayor and a city councilwoman who created the homeless program that they're not using or they're not allocating funds properly, and they're not doing anything right. Essentially, they're creating this public housing space for people, but they're putting drug addicts, veterans, single moms with babies trying to get out of abusive relationships, and then just people who are down on their luck. And they're putting them all together in this compound, and it's not working out. There's feces on the wall. People are getting hurt. Someone got their arm sawed off. Then he went down to Skid Row and saw horrible things involving the fentanyl crisis and people torturing dogs. One person literally was on this shit. Some of the drugs that they're on, they call it super meth, is causing people to literally openly eat each other and animals, pluck eyeballs out of the animal. It's sad. I'm not going to show you, but he's been posting some stuff with pictures of it, and you can look it up and you're like, holy fuck. That really did it. You can even ask Grok if you want to do that. Like, this is from an incident where somebody was on drugs and did this to an animal, and it's so sad to see. And to see this kid that was once a little shit, he was the puck, step up and say to a city councilwoman that he is going against and a mayor in a debate, she's saying, saying, oh, they just need beds and a place to live. He's saying you can't just solve drug addiction by putting someone in a box. That's not how it works. That's why we have recidivism. And she's like, yes, you can. They just need a home. And he's like, no, that's not it. In fact, let's just go down to Skid Row right now tonight, and you can offer people a free bed for treatment. You can offer them treatment and a home, and you're going to get stabbed in the fucking neck. And that's what he said. And then people were like, holy shit. And a lot of therapists and doctors and people who work with addicts are coming out and saying, he's right. There are people who do just want drugs. They don't want to get better. So what do you do with them? And so he started offering a counter plan of, people will say, oh, put them in jail. He's saying, no, put them in jail, or don't put them in jail, put them in forced treatment, which is an interesting concept. I mean, shit, not a bad idea. But also, constitutional rights. I don't know. Essentially, it's like putting them on a 5150 and forcing them to get off of drugs. And I'm like, damn, kind of not against that. He was speaking a lot of truth. And let's be honest, I think he kind of nailed it, a lot of these issues. And he straight up said, I'm going to market this and produce this and be very careful and purposefully provoke this. I'm going to make a huge splash, and I'm going to use every single PR tactic I have to win so that I can change things. And I have to be honest with you, the closest thing I can think of to another time when something like this blew my mind was when Logan Paul joined wrestling and was actually really fucking good. He's great. He's a great wrestler. He's still a piece of shit, but he's a great wrestler. And then you find out that this Spencer kid rescues hummingbirds. And then I started weeping. Does he put out horrible Batman AI videos sometimes to pimp his campaign? Sure. Do I think he's genuine and actually wants to change? Kind of. Because he's openly said that he's running as an independent, even though people are declaring him a Republican. He said, I don't care. Put whatever you want on the ticket. He said, Democrats love me. Republicans love me. Independents love me. The only thing he hates is communists and democratic socialists. Kind of funny. I am fascinated by the way he talks. He seems very honest. I'm terrified too, because I don't want to end up being one of those people who's saying this and then we get another Trump. And it's like, that's how everyone I know and my parents got tricked. Damn. But I'm not going to fuck around. I think that this kid could win the mayor of LA. His running mate. Because they got to pick, the deputy mayor? Because, by the way, he'll even tell you this. The deputy mayor in LA is currently on house arrest for calling it a bomb threat to city council and is ending up in federal prison soon. So there's that. So what do I have here? Where is it? His running mate. It's one of the Hiltons, Steve Hilton. So you got Steve Hilton. This is his running mate. People have the right to refuse medical treatment until their addiction causes them to steal, rob, or kill other people. Exactly. That's a good point. It's a good point. So we've got a Hilton and Spencer Pratt, who's currently living in his Airstream trailer with his wife and kids on the old lot where their house once sat, running for mayor of LA. And he's wooing a lot of people. A lot of people really seem to like him. There are other people who are annoyed by his AI videos. They're pissed off. They're like, I hate that guy. He was on the show. I didn't like the show. I didn't like him on the show. I fucking hated Trump on The Apprentice, and I still don't like that man at all now to this very day. But I will say I've never seen someone host someone in a debate with little to no experience in public office. And I will say this too. His answers are very interesting because when they said, you're not an expert on this, or this specific policy or that, or garbage or infrastructure. How are you going to do? He goes, I'm going to fucking surround myself with people who have 30 to 40 years of experience who do that. And I already have spoken to them. There are a lot of people who got fired who were doing a good job back in the day when things were good. And I'm like, damn, I'm going to hire all the people who know that answer is a pretty good fucking answer. Not gonna lie, it's not that bad. So with that said, let's take a look at some of what's going on here. I'll show you some of the ads and the stuff that he's been putting out, some of the interviews that he's been doing. And because I want you to see this kid's, he's an adult now, which is wild. He's also taken on this campaign promise of we're going to save all the animals and we're going to make sure you never get stabbed on the metro bus system, which passed it. Love that for them. Let me put it on the right thing. I'm going to show you some of the stuff from his Instagram first. So he's been putting this all over Instagram, TikTok, his wife's shit. I mean, if it's an act, he's a good actor, and I never thought this kid could act good. So I'm curious, what do you think? I realize he does have some conservative talking points, fair enough, but I mean, what he's saying is not wrong about a lot of this shit. And I want to save the puppies too. So check this out. This is the kid. This is half of Spidey. This is half of Spidey. I still can't believe it. It blows my mind. Here you go.
Of dogs to save. In downtown LA, Karen Basura and Nithya Raman have facilitated the torture, mutilation, abuse, and murder of thousands of dogs by crazed drug addicts who breed them for drug money, set them on fire, conduct Nazi-like experiments, dissecting these poor dogs alive. They
sounds extreme, sounds like he's lying, right? Kind of like how Trump was like, they're eating the dogs, eating the cats. I'm going to warn you, I don't recommend this, but there is evidence of this that has been publicly posted online from animal shelters, from people who live on Skid Row, and from Spencer himself, who went down there and saw it and took pictures of the puppy at the shelter with his eyes sewn shut because they plucked them out. There are people on insane drugs that are 100% doing this and mutilating animals, and it makes me very, very sad. And he is a great fucking asshole. And I immediately called bullshit when I saw the extreme nature in which he's talking about this. And I'm like, there's no fucking way. But I've also recently been by Skid Row, and I can tell you it's fucking terrifying. It's gotten that bad. And there are shelters who see extreme torture, and some of my friends work at them in LA, and I've heard shit like this from them. Some of the way he describes it made me go, nah, it's true. Unfortunately, it's true.
Test their drugs on them till they overdose and die. It is horrific. At a recent city council meeting,
also animals dying from fentanyl from licking their owners is fucked up, and it has happened.
When a dog rescuer, Rebecca Corey, was begging for help for these abused animals, Nithya Raman stood up, walked out of the room. Nithya doesn't care about these defenseless animals, but we are going to do something about it. You've seen the guardian angel, Joey Tuccio, rescuing as many of these animals as he can. And tomorrow we are hosting a rally to save these animals that Karen and Nithya are leaving to die. Tomorrow, April 25th, from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m., meet me at the Barkery at 17301 Ventura Boulevard in Encino. Let's rally to save our pets from.
So this dude has been going out every single fucking day. And by the way, he's there in his, this is a AI thing people have been making him. So this is where his house was. And that's the picture he took over the Heidi Wood. This is literally where his house was, but that background is fake. But
I mean, it's like, I don't think a kid's going to be safer because a tent is 500 feet away from a school. You know, it's.
So there's tent cities outside of the schools, and some of them where people are taking shits and pulling their dicks out. And because they're crazy or homeless, and I say crazy, like they're legit mentally ill and they're in and out of the system, police let it go because there's nothing that they can do about it. They say there's nothing we can do about it. It's illegal for us to touch them and move them. And we can't arrest them. They've been in 20 times last week. We were told to stop. And so now kids are seeing this shit. This is one of the candidates running against him. She describes herself as a democratic socialist. And I got to admit, watching her in the debate, she has some terrible ideas. She's the one who invented the idea of let's just put them all in a giant building and then they'll get off drugs. And then she mixed them all up. She put veterans with PTSD, people who are recovering alcoholics, people who are current drug addicts, recovering drug addicts, mothers with kids who are leaving abusive situations, people who are just low income, and down on their luck, people who are disabled, people who are extremely mentally ill, and they just put them all in a building. And guess what happens? Someone got their arm chewed off. So it didn't go well.
Justin. I mean, it's like, I don't think a kid's going to be safer because a tent is 500 feet away from a school. You know, it's.
So as you can see, it's not going well for her. Now, to be fair, I've met people who are members of, the DSA who are geniuses, have great ideas, fantastic ones. This woman's not really implementing a lot of her policies the right way, I would say. And I kind of don't blame people for being really pissed off. We can get more into that later, but I highly recommend watching the full debate. It's very interesting. Very interesting.
I mean, it's like, I don't think a kid's going to be safer because a tent is 500.
No. Let's keep going.
That's right. You're spending $1 billion giving money to drug addicts who are buying drugs with the money, and you know that.
Well, yes, that's right.
You're spending $1 billion.
So this is the type of shit that he's been posting. He's just been posting over and over. So this one's interesting. I did look this up and fact check it. There are insane contracts that go beyond this, but the contracts that were basically paid with reservoir money, that's very concerning. If I put this on, it will copyright strike me though, but he was on Joe Rogan talking about it. I'm not going to suggest that you go watch the whole fucking thing. I would recommend watching the debate because the debate was so insane, and I did watch it. That, and by the way, he's going to every single fucking place you can imagine and making videos in front of it. So here's the thing. And I'm going to play you this. This is his campaign video, and then that's it. We'll get out of here, and we'll get I want to get your opinions on this. In the debate, he actually did a pretty fucking good job. He was very honest about quite a few things. Like, he straight up said, like, I'm too dumb to do this part of my job. I will hire someone who has 30 years experience. And he named them, and he named how they would do it. And he talked about, I'm going to implement these laws that are already existing and on the books that we are failing to implement, right? So he's doing that. And he's talking about that, and he's absolutely killing in this debate. At one point, he suggests, let's go down a Skid Row together to Maranatha, and you can offer people, you can offer people to get off of drugs, and you will get stabbed in the fucking neck. And it's kind of funny. But he did such a good job at the debate, apparently. I mean, they canceled Nathia, and the mayor decided we're pulling out. We're not going to debate. That's insane. He hosed them. It was kind of embarrassing. So here's the campaign ad, that one of many that he put out.
I am concerned and feel about him is that I feel like he's exploiting the grief of people in the Palisades. And I think that's
right.
Reprehensible. He is about his own celebrity. He's famous now again.
Almost here. Don't run with that. I'll be right there.
I gotta go Hi.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
How are you?
I'll throw it in the trash. I don't need a new one. We're gonna let it.
Yeah, good. Good. So emotional. I can like hardly breathe.
Oh, it is pretty cool.
Now, again, I never watched this show, but everything, I saw the clips and stuff that would come on TV, and I saw the little bits, they would put up a little snippet of him flipping out. Very surprised. This kid grew up a lot. And he's openly being very vulnerable about, look, I lost fucking everything, and now I'm trying not to be a dick, and I'm trying to help. And yeah, I agree. He's using his stardom for good. He wants to help the animals. He wants to force people to get off fentanyl. I'm okay with that.
It's better than just dirt.
Oh, Spencer, this is beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Could be worse. Could be worse.
Very nice.
How are you enjoying your new rental? That's I thought. Okay, well.
So emotional. I feel like all I do is cry.
You do. Well, I understand why.
I just really wish we could have sold our lot and bought a house in Santa Monica on Montana. So I really wish. The Palisades is just so depressing.
It'll be a lot easier to sell a house you build on a lot than selling just a lot. So there's way more chance for it to buy a brand new, nobody's lived in house than a dirt lot. So if that's what you decide in a year, it's way more chance to sell that than dirt.
Yeah, because the Palisades isn't going to come back for a long time. And it's so depressing.
Okay, so I'm going to let this play out until the end. But I do want to say, and I want to encourage this, I think that if you get a chance, watch the debate. Just type in Spencer Pratt debate. Just watch that. I think that covers enough of it. But really look into some of these policies. I think that we should cover some of this, because this insurance shit where they take away your insurance during fire season, they tried doing that here for flood season. They fucking did it. They took away our flood insurance, and then our house flooded 4 fucking times. It's annoying. We didn't lose everything, though. And I don't care if you're rich or you're poor. Like, nobody deserves to lose everything in a natural disaster. It's just sad. But, like, I feel like this could be a situation that could be very Jesse the Body Ventura, where this kid might actually be pretty good at his political office. I respect the fact that he switched from Republican to Independent, and openly admits it's because he's a little bit of everything. Okay. Yeah, dude. And doesn't it feel so sad and suck? And I was too little when ours burned. I have friends who lost their entire house, and a friend who died in a house fire here in Austin over a decade ago. And it was very, very sad. But like, walking around in the rubble, knowing that it's all gone, the smell, the soot in your lungs, it lasts for a long time. Finding little things later, very emotional. I feel for this dude, you know? He was a piece of shit on TV, but I genuinely think he wants to do something. And if you have driven by the encampments in LA or in Austin or wherever the fuck you live, if you have that stuff, you see how bad it gets. And I can tell you that I have friends who are a lot of homeless resource advocates who work with shelters, the shelter system. Not everybody does want to get sober. Not everybody does want a house necessarily. There are some people who want to be on the streets, or they're in the throes of addiction and they don't really know what they want. If that makes sense, they're not consciously making decisions with a stable head on their shoulders. And then there are people who are there who don't deserve to be there, who are victims of their addiction, and they're not hurting anybody, but they're there. And they're there, and they could become victims or fall victim to others who are not looking out for their best interests. Let's just say that. It gets cold outside. It gets hot outside. There's some that take shits in the street and attack your kids. There's some who will chase you here in Austin. There's others who are perfectly sweet. He's talking about, instead of incentivizing things to try to lure them or trick them into, getting off drugs, saying, let's enforce the laws and let's not let them get the drugs. Let's figure out how to cut the head off the snake. Let's force them to get clean. It's not like, come here, do you want to? It's like, no, you're going in there and you're not allowed to have drugs. And yeah, exactly. Circumstances, poor choices. Some people, mental illness, PTSD. Some people, it's just like, I have friends who are homeless because they came out to their parents as gay in high school and were kicked out of the house. Like, there are all kinds of reasons. But nobody should feel terrified for their life just walking down the street, living on the street if you're unfortunately forced into that circumstance. And it's just better to try to get someone set up again and on a new path. And unfortunately, these people are being exploited by being put into systems, into giant housing communities where they have to pay rent to people who are stealing the fucking rent, and they're not getting the resources, and they're kind of having a lot of shit tossed on them and being told, okay, here, maintain a normal life again, when they haven't even finished getting out of their addiction. And it's just like expecting a lot from someone who hasn't really healed yet. And yeah, I think a lot of the solutions that he has, they make a lot more sense than the ones that aren't being enforced right now. So it's very interesting. I'm just very fascinated by this. This is the third MTV bad boy, bad girl who is like, I'm getting into politics. And I'm like, what is it about being exploited by MTV producers that makes people want to grow up and engage in the bureaucratic shit, but also in actual government change in their communities? Maybe someone should do a case study on it. It's very strange. All I know is if Janelle runs for office, we're doomed. I'm going to let this play out. And then I'm going to actually, you know what? I'm going to put a link to this below. It does get extremely sad. I don't want you to be sad. But I will highly encourage you to go check that out when you get a chance. So, let me put on this. I have something that I've been wanting to show you since I saw it yesterday. And it is 10 days old. This is a news broadcast from NBC in Philadelphia. I can't think of anything better to show you at the moment. that would thrill you in the way I think this video is about to thrill you. You know we love good news interviews. Unfortunately, well, look, I'll just tell you, there was a crash at a Philly school playground. That's not the funny part. It is the crossing guard describing it on the news. And this is a news story that I'll just shut the fuck up and play it for you. This is hilarious. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for being here. Tomorrow, I think we're going to look at some pretty cool OSINT accounts. We'll do that tomorrow. Tonight, we're going to end with this. This is my favorite crossing guard who did a news thing. And thank you for bearing with me. And I'm sorry I canceled last night. I was feeling like bagged ass and I couldn't handle it. I love you guys so much. I will be seeing you. By the way, I'll be seeing you more because the starter's fucked in my car. So I'm stuck at home all the time for the next few days. God bless you. It's good to see you. I love you all. Have a good night.
Yeah. How did you come to be in that spot? I'm the crossing guard on 55th and King Session. When I tell you, he ran the light, T-boned the lady, I'm bobbing and weaving. I'm just thankful to be alive right now. Thank you, Jesus.
What did it sound like?
Bam! No, not to be funny. I swear, not to be funny. It happened that fast. And luckily, I'm alive.
How do you know what time of day
I had to pull it
out there?
It was out there.
I want an ice cream cone now. I don't even like ice cream. Also, Auntie Ree, I will tell Hugin to place his paws upon you and to say a blessing and a prayer. In this crossing guard's name. Amen.
They were in there. I had to pull a kid out. No, I had to pull what's the name nephew out.
What?
Mm-hmm. No, what's the name nephew? Yes.
So there were kids in there.
Yes.
What so describe this for me. You hear the bang.
Bang. I don't know which way to go because he ends up in the schoolyard. Luckily, I wasn't on the corner. I'm in the shade slightly because it's an 82-degree day today.
And then what?
Crazy. My adrenaline is still running. I'm just thankful to be alive.
I think I'm going to go on X tonight and tell people that this is Joe Flipperhead. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Also, he's wearing a What Would Jesus Do? My God, this rules.
So you see this car on its side. Kids are screaming. What's going on?
I run Sheeple. Then I grab a kid out because he's stuck franticing. Pull him out. Ain't nobody in there. Guys in there. He's trapped in there. Coming out together. My heart is boom, 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 boom.
No doubt.
Crazy.
And you grabbed the kid.
Pulled him up out of there.
How was the kid? What
He was shaking up, but I pulled him up out of there.
was he like under a piece of playground equipment? Or
Yeah,
what?
right up under there.
Wow.
No, I'm being honest.
No, I believe you. So tell me about this.